Hi everyone, it's me again. I reviewed many IP cameras. You could check out my YouTube channel for those reviews. This is a new system that was sent to me by Abowone US. I'm not sure the exact pronunciation of that, but they sell this product on Amazon. It's a 1080 resolution. It's a POE camera. If you're not sure what POE means, you might want to look up online exactly what that means. But basically, it means power over Ethernet. That instead of having to install outlets wherever you want a camera, you can just plug all the cameras into the DVR, and that's going to power the cameras. It's going to be one cable for the internet connection, the data transfer, and for the power. So I'm just going to do a quick unboxing first, and then I'm going to go into the review. So I like the big decal they have here to warning you that there is 24-hour internet monitoring, and warning you stay away. So the big box over here with the handle is for the NVR. I'm not sure why it says XVR. I'm not really sure, so I'm not going to guess. But it might just be a loss of translation between Chinese and English. So here's the box. Then inside is another box. This one has all your power supply, etc. And then in here is the actual DVR. So here's the DVR in the front. You can clearly see the company manufacturer. And then over here are a couple lights of the LEDs that you can see when they're plugged in. For power, for alarm, recording, the menu escape button, and your enter and arrow keys. And the back, this is pretty standard. Over here, it'll look like any other, most other DVRs. It's got a nice power switch over here, which is nice. I actually have other DVRs that don't include a power switch. You just gotta unplug it, which is a little stupid. Here's for plugging in the power. Here's for your 4 cameras. This is for your Ethernet connection to connect to your router. This is for VGA or HDMI. You can use either one to connect the monitor for viewing the cameras. And here are USB ports. So you don't need a monitor for long-term use, right? Because you could view it from your phone if you want. But in order to set it up, you're going to need a monitor for that. So here's the box that comes with it. So here's the power supply for the DVR. It's got a remote, which is a nice function if you're actually using this for more professional security. You might want something like that. Here's the other part of the power supply, and here is the mouse. It's a cheap mouse, but it's basic and it works. You're not really using the mouse that much. So then back in this box over here, going to go on to the next box. So this box is your cables for the cameras. So here's nice long Ethernet cables. You got 4 in there, plus each one of these is going to be used to power the camera, and then plus you got this cable for connecting the DVR to your router. And then we got 4 cameras in here. I'm just going to pull out one just to show you how it looks, and then I'm going to move ahead with the setup. So here's the camera. Let me just put my hand here just to show you in perspective. This is smaller than a lot of my other cameras. You see all these IR LEDs, those are for night vision. It's got a sticker on the bottom, some camera information. I'm not sure if you can see it. With model name, etc. 2 megapixel camera, 1080p resolution. And over here you can see this connection. This is for your power and data, right? And then there's a separate connection here for just power. So that's that. And in the box are these plastic connections, help make it waterproof. Then you got a set of screws for mounting it in the wall, and even give you an Allen key for adjusting the angle of the camera and for setting it up, etc. Also, finally, you got a user manual here and screws for mounting the hard drive. You have to buy the hard drive separately for this model. It's also got a CD here for installation, and this manual has got all detailed, clear pictures explaining exactly how to set it up. So I'm going to pause for a minute. I'm going to set it up, I'm going to test it out, and I'm going to continue my review. So for the sake of this tutorial, I just did a basic, for this review I did a basic setup. Over here you can see the connections. So this one is for the mouse. This connects to the monitor, which you can see right over here. And over here, this is for the Ethernet connection. I actually don't have my router right here, but instead I have it plugged into a Wi-Fi access point over here. And then the final cable is right over here, which is this whole bundle, which plugs directly into the camera. It's got a whole waterproof connection piece. I didn't put it on yet because I just want to set it up in one place and make sure it works. So we start off, it says welcome to the configuration wizard. The username is admin, then password is blank. Right, if you look at the manual, it'll tell you password starts off blank. So we're just going to hit OK. We'll change that later. So the next step is you go to time and switch it to your time zone. And for me that's going to be Eastern time. Then we change the date format to however you want it, and the time format. So you see how it instantly updated the time, and it shows us how the date's going to look. Then you could enable or disable data savings time. It's really cool because you can set when that starts, because that could depend on where you live. So right now we're getting a error for the gateway. It says hit network. Okay, we're gonna hit OK. So this is throwing an error. Let me enable DHCP. Okay, I think I just had some problem with my access point. Didn't fully get connected to the internet when I just plugged it in. So either way, I hit retry and it connected. I'm gonna hit next. So now we get a QR code to install the mobile app. So I'm just gonna hit next for now. And then here it shows you a serial number for you to scan in order to add it to a device. I'm gonna pause this video. I'm gonna add it to my phone now. So after selecting the camera over here and then just clicking OK, then you can see the camera is all set up. And this is one camera I have outside in the dark, So this is with night vision, and this is with a VGA monitor. My camera is causing a slight reflection. That's a little better. So you can see how it's very clear, and you can see nicely outside. Is even at night. During the day, it's even better. So I'm going to show you a couple more settings in the DVR. Over here on the bottom, so you can see all channel record, close all record, disconnect all video, connect all video. Here's arrows to switch between cameras. This is to go full screen, and here you could do 4 cameras. Right now I only have this one camera connected, just for tutorial purposes, but you can see how it gives you a really nice clear video at night. And if you right click, sorry, I can't see this so good from here. Right click up here, do it here. Okay. So if you right click over there, you could get the options: main menu, guide, quick setup, record mode, playback, pan to zoom control, high speed pan to zoom. So these aren't pan to zoom cameras, so those don't apply. Color settings, output adjust, etc. So output adjust, you could control the settings, the brightness, contrast, etc. The other settings that you care about is the main menu. So over here is where you set up how you want things to be done. So I didn't install a hard drive yet, but when I do, so that's when you click on record configuration. That's this left one. And over here you can set which channel, how long you want it to record, when you want it to record, etc. Regular, when it detects alarm, like motion detection, etc. Over here's alarm, so you can set. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust the screen. Okay, so you have motion detection, video blind, like just talking about when and video loss when the video gets disconnected, alarm input, abnormality, etc. These are different types of alarms, and the actual NVR could buzz when that happens, plus notify you. The next thing is system. So over here is a bunch of settings. Like general is the ones we set up in the beginning, but then other things like encoding, the resolution, the network setup, the net service, this setting up email addresses, etc. Display. Over here you could set the channel title, so you could put a name. So instead of saying D03, you could change that to, let's say, front. Right, and then you hit OK. Then you notice on the bottom there, it's hard to read, you can see it says front. The other thing is account. You can set up the admin, users, etc. To change users. Obviously you want to change the default had no password there, so you want to change all that stuff. So this is for a device. It's got a number of options here to set that up. You don't really need to mess with that. You don't need to mess with this either. You can just leave that. This is touring. That's more of pan to zoom options. Here's digital channels. Here you could choose real time, middle. The connection, etc. Channel type is. So right here we got one channel connected. The other cameras I didn't connect yet, so that's why nothing's connected yet. Here's advanced. So the storage, that's for the hard drive, which we didn't install yet, so you can't see that. The upgrade. So here's upgrade from USB. So it's going to, you gotta click the USB in order to do that. Cancel. Here's device input. Auto maintain to auto reboot the system. Restore is you could reset factory defaults. Is import if you want to import config files, etc. Export, and here's the log out. Info, you can see the version number, etc. So that's this camera system. You just right click again to go out. So when you're on here, you could just double click it and it'll get large, or you could double click again and get small. On the top left, you can see the 4 channels we got set up. You can see on the top right, you can see the date and the time like we set before. And the top left, that's just for the DVR. If you would have 4 cameras, that'll make more sense. But this is how to set up the Abowone the Abowone, I don't know how to pronounce it, Abowone DVR. It's really simple to install, as you saw. All you gotta really do is just plug and play to set it up, and you even got a remote here, so you could change around with settings like pressing the menu, searching for things. This is really useful when you're using it as for home for like business security, and the security guard wants to go through stuff. For also when you want to back up stuff to a flash drive, the remote could come in handy a little if you're not using a mouse. But for me, I usually just use the mouse for most functions. It works quite well. The main advantage of POE over regular IP cameras is that a POE camera, it has a solid connection between the camera to the DVR, whereas IP camera, you're dealing with Wi-Fi interference, and you need to have it plugged in. So that's a major difference between the two. POE is a little harder because you got to run the wires, but once the wires are ran, it's a little more reliable generally. The wireless systems that you can just plug in and have a camera anywhere, that's better because simple setup as long as you have an outlet there. But if you don't have an outlet there, it could get more complicated to install an outlet over running a POE cable. Thanks for watching my review on the Abowone HD video recorder. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask. Maybe I'll create a follow-up tutorial to explain more. Thanks. Have a great day.